Hi everybody, I'm Nigel Poulton and this is your weekly Kubernetes moment. So this one's a funny one, right? I put out what I genuinely thought was just a throwaway comment in last week's Kubernetes Now weekly email that I send out to subscribers, just saying that generally speaking I'm not a massive fan of the CNCF, but actually in that weekly email I was tipping my hat to them, saying I think they've done a good job on something, the Kubernetes bug bounty program. But anyway, my comment that I'm not a huge fan of the CNCF seemed to get a few people wondering, like, well, why? So I've been contacted, Twitter, emails, a few other ways, saying, come on, what is your take on the CNCF? So here goes. Now let me give a massive disclaimer here, right? First of all, I'm not saying anything negative about an individual or the people who work for the CNCF. I'm sure they're fabulous people. I've interacted with some of them, and those who I have interacted with do seem to be really nice people, of course. And I will say the other kind of disclaimer is this is just my personal experience. Yours may be different. Remember, right? I am a small two-man company. There's me and there's my brother. If you're like a huge Microsoft or somebody, your experience may be totally different. Anyway, so it started, well, let me just dial it back a little bit further. Originally, I've never really had any direct dealings with the CNCF. I go to KubeCon, all that kind of stuff, and they've been a fine organisation from a distance. I've always thought, yep, they handle Kubernetes as a project and the wider ecosystem pretty well, so it seems. Anyway, KubeCon San Diego, just last November or whenever it was, I ran a day zero workshop, a Kubernetes 101 workshop. The idea was to help people that are coming to KubeCon to learn, get a great learning experience the day before the conference actually starts. And it went relatively well. There were some minor hiccups. We cracked on all right. No minor hiccups with the workshop, by the way, just like the planning process and getting information on the KubeCon website schedule, stuff like that. Anyway, look, it went well. So we thought we'd do the same again for KubeCon in Amsterdam in a couple of months' time, whenever it is, because the workshop was so well received. So we make an application, and we wanted another 100-person room, which was what we had in San Diego. Only this time, for KubeCon in Amsterdam, which is going to be smaller than KubeCon in San Diego, the price of the room was increased by $10,000, which is more than a third increase on what it was before. I paid $27,000 last year. It was going to be $37,000 this year, which was kind of hard to stomach. And we're like, okay, can we push the boat out to do it? So we thought, yeah, let's do it. We're reaching a lot of people, helping them at the conference. Good for my business as well, of course, right? But then we were told, well, actually, this time you need to be a Kubernetes show sponsor. That'll be $7,000, please. Now, as a show sponsor, you get a tiny, well, look, $7,000 is the cheapest you can pay to be a show sponsor. You get like this tiny pop-up booth, which might be all right for some companies, but for me, it's no use whatsoever. There's me and my brother. I know a bit about Kubernetes. He barely knows how to pronounce it. He runs all the operations of the business. So if we were to get a booth, that would be me manning the booth at KubeCon all day, every day. No thanks. Anyway, so it was $37,000, a $10,000 increase over last time, plus let's have $7,000 to be a show sponsor. Okay. But to be a show sponsor, you have to be a member of the CNCF. That'll be another $2,000, please, Nigel. Getting a bit annoying. Only to be a member of the CNCF, one must be a member of the Linux Foundation. Another $5,000, please, Nigel. All in all, $51,000 to get me access to a 100-person room. Bear in mind, at KubeCon in San Diego, I think we charged $150, maybe $175 per person. Multiply that by 100 people, it gets nowhere near $51,000. So of course we have to then try and run multiple workshops in the day to make ends meet. Look, something like that might be absolutely fine if you're a huge company. and $51,000 is not a lot of money. And maybe you don't even have to pay that if you're a platinum sponsor of the show and already shelling out hundreds of thousands of dollars to the CNCF and the Linux Foundation and KubeCon, the event, and all that jazz anyway. But that's not me. I'm a small company, spend my life training people, wanted to make it easier for people coming to KubeCon, give them a good experience. I'm priced out of the market. Is that a personal gripe? I don't know, I'll let you decide. I was a bit sad, but let me just add to it as well, right? So there were loads of new people at KubeCon in San Diego last year. I think estimates were around 3/4 of people were first-time KubeCon attendees, and lots of those were fairly new to Kubernetes and wanted to learn about Kubernetes while they were there. But there wasn't a dedicated 101 track. So I've reached out via several means. I've written blog posts on it, I've emailed the chairs for KubeCon Amsterdam, I've emailed other people at the CNCF saying, look, I will help for free organise a 101 track. My idea was like, have all the 101 track in the same room so that if you want to camp out and just do the entire 101 track while you're there, what a great learning experience KubeCon will be. It'll be a safe place where all questions are acceptable, nobody's going to look down on you, and we will start from the bottom. We would order it, this is funny, right? We would order it by talking about, right, this is the basics of containers. Only you can't present on Docker at Kubernetes, at KubeCon, because Docker is not a CNCF project. Even though it would be, excuse me, really useful for noobs, politics. But then build on that and just make it a great learning experience. Anyway, look, I spend my life making Kubernetes easy for noobs. And I kind of have a little bit of an idea of what works and what doesn't work when people are learning Kubernetes. So I thought I'd offer my help. The responses I've had from the CNCF after reaching out via various channels, bearing in mind I'm offering this for free, the responses I've had have been zero. Radio silence. Nobody's even acknowledged any of the emails that I've sent to them offering to help. So again, look, I was offering to help for free. All of those sessions, you know, you go in them for free once you've paid for your conference pass. I wasn't going to get any money from it or anything. But they haven't even responded to my emails. So I'm kind of like a little bit miffed about the CNCF at the moment. Thank you. So yeah, that's it. Anyway, look, I'm not having a pop at anybody as an individual. I'm just a little bit sad because I love Kubernetes, I love KubeCon, I love all this kind of community and stuff, and I'm trying to help and I'm trying to do stuff, and I'm just being kind of either priced out or ignored, and it makes me sad, and I think it makes the event, this is not hubris, I hope, right, just kind of a little bit sort of not as good as it otherwise could have been. Anyway, that's me. I'm Nigel Poulton. I'm signing out. Check out nigelpoulton.com. Follow me at Nigel Poulton on the Twitters. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. Love it. And I'm still going to go to KubeCon, okay? So if you're going to be there, see you there.